Welcome to Post Game Podcast. I'm your host, June. I got my co-host, B. Foster, with me. And before we get into this Pistons Weekly show, I want to remind everyone to subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube and make sure you're following us on all the aggregators for your audio fix. You can follow us at Post Game Podcast, FFSN, in those platforms. Make sure you hit the notification bell and follow us so when we drop content, you won't miss anything, and download those episodes. Foster, we have reached the last week of the season, the last game of the regular season. The last game is today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. We have a season finale tomorrow at Milwaukee. I don't think there's any significance in that game whatsoever. I think the Pistons are locked in at sixth place, and I think the Knicks are locked in at third. So we have our opponent. I was going to wait and suggest we waited until the season was over, but the game literally doesn't mean anything. So we're here, and we're going to review the last week in basketball. Pistons had a game last night, which I was kind of disappointed in, but hey, I don't want to sound like I'm worried about any team, but I know this I have an expectation for the team and a ceiling. And I think the better matchup is versus the Knicks. I think we're good at 6 playing the 3, But first of all, let's wrap up the week. How many games did we play this week, Foster, since last Saturday?
I'm not sure. We played New York. We played Milwaukee.
And I think it was Memphis Saturday.
Was that on Saturday? I don't have it in front of me.
I can't remember which game it was, but it was a game. The Memphis was Friday, so we talked about that game, right? Because me and you asked me if I wanted to go. That was on a Friday.
Saturday night.
That was Saturday night. So we didn't talk about that last week. So it was the Memphis game, Knicks, and Milwaukee this week. Correct?
Yeah.
And we went 1 of 3. Lost the Memphis game, close game. And lost to Milwaukee last night. The implications were if we had won both games, we go into tomorrow's game. Kings. We lost to the Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was another game in there. So one out of 4, one of our last 4. I think if we win those games and go in tonight, let's say if we win all of them, and we go to tomorrow's night's games or tomorrow's game, whenever they're playing, we move up to 5th place and face the Pacers, who are playing some electric basketball right now. They are hot. And we haven't matched up well with them during the season. They didn't sweep us, but and we put BTA in Indianapolis one game, but they pretty much held their own this season versus us. And I think we match up versus the Knicks a lot better. So we're looking at being the 6th place. Now let's take this back, right? Because Foster probably is tired of me bringing this up. 14-68 last year. Guaranteed playoff spot this year. It's been one heck of a season, regardless of how you slice it. If the season were to end today and you're going into the draft or free agency, whatever, you feel pretty good about this season. Foster, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of been sitting pretty for a while knowing that we were likely going to solidify a 6th seed in the East. So it's been nice to not have to. I was just saying yesterday, I'm glad I don't have to, that we're not battling for our way to get into the playoffs because that would just be super nerve wracking. So it's been nice to pretty much know that we were gonna have some postseason games, and it's exciting because we have a very legitimate opportunity to advance. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but
Absolutely, though.
I think that we're in a nice position right now.
Yeah, I mean, not to say we're out of the woods or we have a chance versus the Knicks in the first round. We have a chance, and to go from where we come from to be able to have a chance to be in the second round of the playoffs. I mean, we're in. First of all, salute to the Pistons for even being in sixth place, for even not no playing, guaranteed playoff, right? And me and Foster was hoping that we win 28 games, that we double the production of the win total of last year. We were just hoping for that. And we've gotten more. Like Foster, I feel like this is a reward for what we endured last year. Last year was our first year covering the Pistons, and wow. 28 game losing streak last year, winning game 14 in like March. It was bad, Foss. It was bad. And this year we won game 14 in October. We knew we was in for a good season, a better season. We knew it. We knew it. We just didn't know how good. We knew we were better than 14 wins last year. And this week, you can't really grade the season by this week because I don't think we've been full strength. The whole, there's been somebody out every single game. Besides the Knicks game, I feel like we had everybody during the Knicks game. But last night, Isaiah Stewart didn't play.
Right.
Versus the Kings, Tobias Harris didn't play. And Memphis, there was somebody that didn't play.
Memphis, I think were we still dealing with suspensions?
Yeah,
I think didn't Stu get suspended for the longest amount?
I can't remember, but I know we weren't at the only game everybody played was versus the Knicks this week. Yeah. And I'm thinking Duran sat down in one of them games.
You're right.
And I think it might have been Memphis.
Yeah, I can't keep up. Yeah, the Memphis game because they had Edie and
they were too tall for us.
Yeah, they had Edie and Jaren Jackson.
That they were too tall for us. We didn't have Duran that game.
Right.
So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't at full strength. And, it is what it is. I mean, I wanted that Knicks matchup. So I'm not going to get on here and fuss about this last week. You don't want to back into the playoffs. And I'm anticipating tomorrow night that Cade doesn't play. I'm anticipating Stewart's definitely not going to play. He sat out last night with some knee soreness. So he probably won't play. I'm thinking you're going to see a heavy dose of Reed at center.
What we've all been waiting on all year, obviously.
I think you're going to see a heavy dose of Fontecchio tomorrow night. You're definitely going to see a lot of Ron Holland. You might see spots of Oscar Thompson. But I think the core, Duran, Cade, Schroeder might play some. He deserves a break, though. He's logged in a lot of minutes lately. But yeah, I think you're not going to see the regular Pistons out there tomorrow night, and I don't think you're going to see the regular Bucks out there tomorrow night either. They can't move up. That's going to be one of those games where nobody really plays. You might not see Giannis But I didn't know that they got a lot of young pieces in Milwaukee. A lot of young pieces in Milwaukee. Yeah, I think that Milwaukee versus Indiana Pacers matchup is going to be very good.
Yeah, they're gonna beat each other up, I think.
Yeah.
Pause.
I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I think it's gonna be a good matchup. I really don't care who wins. Because that would be let's look at this scenario. What happens if the Pistons beat the Knicks? They play the winner of I think it would be the 1 versus 8.
So Boston.
It would be Cleveland. Cleveland versus whoever is at 8.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it would be if because the 2 and I want to say the 2 and 7 teams would play the 4 and 5. No, yeah, the 2 and 7 would play the 4 and 5, and the 3 and 6 would play the 1. I believe. I don't know.
I'm looking at the playoff picture.
Mm-hmm.
It has Boston and the winner of 7-8 under it. So unless something switches up, it might be the 2 and 7 winner, not the 1 and 8.
Okay, so it could be Boston.
Yeah.
I don't see Boston losing. I don't see Boston losing the first round.
No.
So if the Pistons get by the Knicks, they would have Boston. So that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I mean, it's awesome now. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and because there's no guarantees. Knicks can go in there and be the Knicks at, at who they were last year in the beginning of this year and go crazy and turn up for the playoffs, and we can be out of the first round. It doesn't make me look at them any differently, though.
I'm telling you right now, that fan base is looking for answers right now.
They are.
They do not. I'm telling you, they do not feel good as they enter into the playoffs. I was, as you know, I follow the Knicks very closely, and there was people that were basically saying that the Pistons were playing like their life depended on it, and the Knicks are trying to fall into that 4th seed anyways, but after that, after blowing that lead against Cleveland last night, they are confused and hurt because that's just not how you want to. That's just not how you want to enter the. There's no way they did that on purpose. Like you can say what you want.
I know they had to feel some kind of way after the Pistons game.
Especially because they've only beat us once, and it was like early in the year.
Early. It was a blowout, though. It was really bad.
Trust me, I remember before I even got a chance to sit down, I think the Pistons were down 20 points.
Yeah,
but
it was down early bad, and they never looked back.
Since then, Cade has hung a triple-double on them in the Garden, and we've pretty much dominated the last 3 games, and that's not the precedent you want to set going into the playoffs.
I got to tell you about something Foster said, though. I missed most of the Knicks game, right? Foster inboxed me and said, "We're not ready."
We didn't look ready. I'm not gonna lie, we didn't look ready.
I said, and I'm thinking, oh, this is not good. This is not good. Like
I'm trying to remember what I was looking at that point, but yeah, we were full strength and we weren't playing well. We had a great third quarter though.
I started watching at the end of the third, and I inboxed you back. I said, "Uh-oh, we back in it. We back in it." And I think the score was like 68-65 at the end of the third or something like that. It was really close, whatever it was. Can't remember. I might be quoting the Milwaukee game, but we were really close. And then the fourth, it was just, we looked like who we're supposed to be,
Now keep in mind, Josh Hart didn't play, and OG Anunoby didn't play, and Mitchell Robinson didn't play. So they were very shorthanded in that game. But that was the frustrating part. They had a lot of their. I mean, that's a lot of their front line right there.
Front line, and they were dominating.
So yeah, at that point, I said we just didn't look ready. But I think there was a string. Like I said, we outscored them by a lot in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, they had a string of 5 minutes where they didn't have a single point, not a single field goal. They didn't have a single point for a good 5 minutes towards the end of the game. So we completely shut them down.
Yeah, it was good to see. And oh man, Cade just has his way with the Knicks. Like it's like now his eyes light up. I don't know what it is. I think he's doing the same thing versus Milwaukee too. Like he gets it going versus those two teams. Like it's good to see, man. We got a superstar on our team, bro.
So let me tell you what the last 4 games, or this last season, has looked like for Cade Cunningham points wise. 22 in the blowout, 29, 10, and 15 in Madison Square Garden, 36 points in January, and another 36 the other day at home.
Dang.
That's got to be his best totals. Yeah. If you want to talk about totals for as far as teams that he's played, that's got to be up there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like I said, man, we are in good hands. You know what? I did a little research before the show.
Okay.
And let me tell you what we're talking about. We're gonna take a quick break, and I'll tell you what I looked at, Foster. And it deals with the offseason. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And we got some things to ponder about. But if you're listening, you're going to hear some commercials. If you're watching, we'll be back in like 10, 15 seconds. Okay. Now that that's out the way, and let me do this again. Wrong one. Golly, got to be more careful. Subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. We are almost at 250 subscribers. We've been trying to get to 300. We're almost close to 250. I mean, so in order to get what we need to do, we need you to, if you're already subscribed, to share, like, comment on any of the material, any of the content up there. Tell a friend. And if you're listening and haven't subscribed, you're wrong. Just subscribe. I know you're listening. Just subscribe, and then after you subscribe, share, like, comment. We can get this the subscribers up, man. We show. I mean, we get plenty of downloads. We're progressing there, so I know more people are listening. So we appreciate those. But Foster, I did a little research. So going ahead, and I probably shouldn't be, but I couldn't help it. I had to look at the NBA mock draft. Also had to look at the 2025 free agency list. Now, with that being said, I probably won't watch the draft or be concerned about it. And for two reasons. One, it's not a really great draft. It's not as bad as the one last year, but it's not a great draft. Secondly, we draft at number 37. We do not have a first round pick.
Correct.
I'm not interested. I'm totally not interested in the draft. And I don't think what we need is in the draft, we don't have a chance in hell at Cooper Flag.
Yeah, no shit.
I think there's another guy, Ace Warren.
He's Warren.
Not Ace Warren, that's my boy.
Yeah.
That's my homie. Ace from Rutgers.
Bailey.
Ace Bailey. That's another guy I feel like he would be good in a Pistons uniform. We don't have a chance in heck at him. There's the center from Maryland. Yeah.
Queen.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, I think those are the top of the draft class, and I just don't think we're. Oh, Jace Richardson. I would love him in a Pistons uniform. Won't see him. Won't have a chance at him.
Is he gonna be that? I think that he's crazy for coming out. I think that he's only doing that because of, I don't know, his stock is at a.
He won't. I don't know. He won't be a 37. I know that he's a 6'4" guard that can shoot from the outside, and they don't. I mean, they look at it. Nowadays, you're drafting for upside and potential. It's not about what you've done.
You think he has upside?
Oh yeah.
I don't see the athleticism though. Like, he just kind of seems like a guy that can shoot, but I think he had a shaky tournament too. But
hey man, I don't even want to talk about upside. I mean athleticism. When I see Joker holding it down with a triple double.
At 7 feet tall, sir.
Okay.
7 feet tall.
There's a lot of unathletic people in the NBA, and they do okay.
Ooh.
My man, for the Lakers. It's more than just those two.
He's 6'8". These are big guys though. Like Jace Richardson's like 6'2". He's kind of short and fat, kind of.
I mean, but we're talking about you don't have to jump out the gym and run the fastest to be an effective guy. I'm gonna put it like this: Brandon Roy wasn't the most athletic guard. He was not. He didn't jump out the gym. He didn't run fast.
He didn't?
No. Paul Pierce, old man game.
Yeah.
Now,
these are all guys that are taller than him, by the way. You haven't mentioned a 6'3" guy yet.
Hart doesn't, I mean, he's 6'3", 6'4". He's going to play guard. I think he's going to be all right. Now, I'm not saying he's going to start off all right. I'm saying if he stays 2 years in college, I think you'll see he's draft worthy. I just think they leave college early. That's all I'm saying. I think he has the potential to be good. Now, and that's what you're drafting for nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember.
I think it's because his last name is Richardson.
It's his father. It's his father, right?
I don't think it's because take that away from him.
He plays decent basketball and he has a decent jump shot. However, I think he could use another year or two of college. But I'm just saying, I know he's a lottery pick though. Yeah, this is not a strong draft. Troy said, "What's up, fellas? How we feeling about the matchup? Vegas has us about plus 270 underdogs. I feel really good about the matchup, man. This is the matchup I wanted. I wanted to play the Knicks in the first round." Troy says, "June, that hoodie is fire. It bleaches the speakers, man. It's I did it on. I designed it on one of the website. I used our logo, a different color though, Pistons color for bleaching the speaker. I didn't do one for post game podcast. I wanted to see how this one turns out. I probably will do one for post game podcast though. But yeah, I forgot the name of the website, but had it designed. It wasn't too expensive. It wasn't cheap though.
You never know with those websites though. That actually came because sometimes you get a disaster when you're done. But that came out great.
I got the okay from Joey Linwood.
Oh, okay.
When Joey Linwood said they legit, and it's good material.
And you've seen his end result work too.
Yeah. And then he took his word for it. And the material is nice. It's just not it's kind of like a smooth cotton, so it's not like
heavy.
So it's really nice. And I forgot the name of the website, but I'll probably get another one for post game podcast. It's really dope. I appreciate that, Troy. But um, Troy says I like the matchup too. We just smacked them up. And you know what? The crazy thing about it is there's no confidence in that fan base. There's no and I think when you play a team like that and you have good results, the first time you get a lead, you can put a little panic, a little sense of urgency, and they'd be like, "Oh, here we go again." I mean, we just can't, I just hope in these games that they play that the Pistons start off playing very well. They don't fall behind early because that'll leave doubt on that other sideline. Pistons have nothing to lose. You go out there and you let it all hang out and you just play. I have nothing to lose. Nobody thought the Pistons would be where they're at. But I think this Pistons team is a little hungry. I think they've been reserved the past 2 weeks because they've sat people down. Cade didn't play the week before last too much. This week with the suspensions and all that other stuff, and we haven't been full strength. We just haven't.
We've been on a little spring break, kind of. Huh? We just been
Yeah,
getting suspended, like high school, like
yeah.
plan on graduating, but we gotta go through senioritis.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like we have to take with a grain of salt that they knew it was going to be one or two things the past 2 weeks. It was either going to be sixth place or fifth place. And the way Indiana was playing, they wasn't moving out of fourth. They might have moved up to third, if anything, 2 weeks ago. But I think the Knicks have played well enough to stay at the third slot. And we're going to be at the sixth. There's no tomorrow's game is not going to mean a thing. It's not going to mean anything. You're going to see a lot of the reserves playing. A lot of the reserves playing. I don't think you'll see Cade tomorrow night. I just don't. I don't think you'll see Duran tomorrow night. Just don't. They need to sit down. They need to sit Schroeder down for a minute. He's logged in a lot of minutes these past 2 weeks because Cade's been hurt, and there's another thing that I noticed too, Foster. They've your boy Ivy he's resumed physical activity. Where do you see Ivy playing in the playoffs at all?
So I actually have an article out on FFSN about the injury.
Self-promote, Foster. Go ahead, push that brand, man.
Yeah, FFSN, and go to the Pistons archives, and you will see an article that gives you in detail the update on the Jaden Ivey situation. He has been cleared to resume basketball activities, and he's going to start his conditioning process. He will be updated in the next 2 weeks. So you will not likely see him unless we get out of the first round of the playoffs. The playoffs officially start on 4/19, so that is next Saturday, and then we will see where he's at in 2 weeks. But yeah, if you check out that article, you're going to get a breakdown of what his impact will be on the team, good and bad. But yeah, it's exciting to see him. The last time I saw him, I was kind of looking. I was like, okay, he seems to be walking pretty well. He, because for a while he had the limp, he had the boot, and then we saw him running a little bit about 3-4 weeks ago, and now he looks pretty damn healthy. Like, we're really going to see him ramp things up, and I wouldn't hold my breath on seeing him play a whole lot, if at all. But hey, the longer we can, prolong this season, the higher the likelihood that we'll get a chance to see him play at least a little bit. I don't know to what extent we'll see him, but it's just good to see that he has progressed. I was actually at the game that he broke his leg against Orlando. That was on New Year's Day.
New Year's Day, January 1st.
So about 4 months from now, and he appears to be right in line with where we would like him to be.
Yeah, I know you was at the game, and I know you've been to several games out there, and you observed from the luxury skybox, so you would know the luxury skybox talks between the executives and
Right.
everybody. You get the first hand scoop, Foster. I mean, one day I'll be on that level. Just one day, hopefully. Something to aim for. Something to aim for. But yeah, and don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Um, we're not looking for Ivy to come in and just contribute and take us to another level. We're not depending on that. I think what you're going to see, if you see Ivy, it's going to be limited. He's not going to log in a lot of minutes, and I think he's still got to feel his way back. Pause. I think he has to, it's a gradual thing. You just can't. He's not just going to go out there and be the Ivy we knew, because that's just too long to be injured and to bounce right back and just think that a person is going to be a difference maker. We're not dependent on that, and we didn't depend on it during the season. We wasn't hoping that he'd come back and give this team a boost. What happened with the Pistons is, after January 1st, they laced up them boots and said, "Hey, we got to play some ball. This doesn't end our season." And they played some pretty good basketball. You know what I'm saying? They played some in some games. They looked hella inspired. A lot of the losses that we've had, there was fights in. No, not literal fights. I'm talking about close basketball games.
Oh, a couple
Slow
of
down.
those too.
It's been some knuckles, but and almost fights. But I'm just saying, like, there's been the effort has been there most of the season. You know what I'm saying? We don't just lay down. There's been some games where we've lost. Yes. But in those games there was fight. I can't remember the last time we got like really, really blown out to where I'm like, we're not ready yet.
Just that Memphis game that got a little. Oh no, not was that the Memphis game?
No.
No, Minnesota.
It was Minnesota, but that was after the ejections.
That's why I said there's the games that we've lost. There's been fights. That was one of them.
That's one of those games, and I think we lost by 14. I think the score was 123 to 109 at the end of the game. But you got to remember, no Cade, no Tobias, and then you lose three players.
I think Schroeder. Did Schroeder get ejected?
No, it was the other guy.
Beasley.
No, it was the other guy from Alabama. I forget.
Oh, Sasser.
It was Sasser, Stu, Holland.
And then JB.
JB and your coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You expect to get blown out in that game. But before that, it was BTA. We was manhandling them boys. Without Cade Tobias.
That's right.
So it is what it is, man. I know the Pistons have played pretty good basketball, without Ivy. And I'm not insinuating we don't need him, but we haven't depended on it. You know what I'm saying? I think this team next year takes another step forward. I think they do. And I looked at the free agency list. There's a couple guys on that free agency list, Foster, that I would like to see in a Pistons uniform.
Probably care to share that right now?
There was two people. One of them played for the Pacers, and the other one plays for Atlanta. Can you guess? Pacers.
Pacers in Atlanta, you said?
Yeah, just start with the Pacers. Can you guess who I might think would be good in the Pistons uniform next year?
Miles Turner.
You know my heart. Yes.
Yeah.
Now let's go to Atlanta. It's a There's a guard out of there.
Oh, a guard. See,
He's a
I
guard.
was going a different direction.
I gave you a hint.
Guard.
And the only reason I say it is because I'm not sure if Schroeder will be here next year. That's why I say guard. I would like to resign Schroeder.
So not Kobe Buffkin, obviously.
No.
But
Karis LeVert.
oh, okay. I knew it was somebody that just got there because I'm like,
Yeah.
can't be Dyson Daniels, can't be Trey. Okay, Karis LeVert. Okay.
I would like to see Karis LeVert in a Pistons uniform.
So who plays point? Sasser?
You talking about just what do you mean?
You say this because it's Schroeder, but Schroeder is the backup point guard. Karis LeVert's not a point guard, is he?
He can play point. Yeah.
Oh.
He can play point. Yeah. I just think I want Schroeder back. I think the team has embraced him. I think he has an opportunity to have a landing spot for a few years without being traded. He's what we need when Cade's not there. He's what we need closing a basketball game.
Even when Ivy's back and fully healthy next year, you say that?
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing what I wanted Ivy to do. What
Right.
Ivy was starting to do.
Right.
You know, Ivy had a game winner. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to see at the end. He had a couple, and he had a dagger versus the Lakers. That's the Ivy I expect to see. Now, if you can have Ivy go forward in that position, I can live without Schroeder or Karis LeVert getting here. He has to show me though. He has to show me. But I do like Miles Turner. He can stretch the floor. He gets busy against us, man.
There's a nice little lineup you could build of guys that get off against the Pistons, including Peyton Pritchard, Desmond Bane.
Hey man, I've been watching Bane a lot lately. He's been going crazy. That little guard be shooting, bro.
Just a little stocky, just short arm T-Rex.
Man, them little short arm T-Rex guards be wearing us out, bro.
Yes.
The little chunky guards. It was the other guard I was thinking about that we was talking about the last show. He played for San Antonio. The little bully.
San Antonio?
He's off the bench. He's a little bully. He's like a Marcus Smart type of guard. I think his last name is Johnson, I believe.
Oh, Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
He's pretty big. He's like 6'5" though, but yeah.
But he doesn't have like an above the rim type of game.
He's just running through.
He's just running people over, man. I'm like, man, who is these little short, chunky guards be going crazy against the Pistons, man?
Yeah.
So I would love to see Marcus Smart here.
That'd be fun.
That leadership, I think he brings a leadership value to him, and we can't have enough leaders. One thing I will say though, before the Pistons go out in free agency, please re-sign Beasley and keep Schroeder. Do that for me.
Yeah, it's interesting because everybody can't stay, but
everybody can stay. You got to keep Beasley though. Do you know Beasley before last night had 305 3-pointers?
Yeah, I think he's like one of only very few players that have ever done it, actually. But
yes, I think it was Klay Thompson had 301 at the most, at his most, and I think the second leading one was Dame with 275 for the year. This guy, and there's been so many games where he was off horribly.
Yeah.
And still, he's doing what he's doing. You got to keep him, bro.
Yeah.
And his game to the rim is underrated. He can get to the basket. Once he gets in his mindset not to settle. When he's open, he got to shoot it though. But he doesn't have to settle. When they're on him like that, defending that shot, he can get past you and get to the rack. Work on his free throws though.
Oh my God. I just don't get that, but whatever.
Yeah. I think there's a couple people that need to work on their free throws this year, this summer. Thompson, Duran has gotten better, but he still needs to work on it. He missed quite a few free throws last night. Isaiah Stewart hits them when they're clutch though, but he's still one of those people that the other team will foul, make them shoot.
Yeah, free throws is one of the main reasons why we lost yesterday. One, because we gave up a ton to Giannis, which you can't really do too much about.
Those free throws. We missed a lot of free throws.
But we shot 50% from the free throw line yesterday.
And didn't Ron Holland, and who shoots free throws pretty good, he lost a game because he missed 2 free throws
against the Bucks, right?
Yeah,
the Bucks.
Yeah, we lost a game because of that. I don't mean to reminisce, but free throw shooting, man. I mean, if the team can improve their free throw shooting, we'll be that much better going into the next year. Foster, if you want to grade this season, what would you give them? We don't even have to think about tomorrow's game because tomorrow's game doesn't anything. The season's over, man. Regular season's over as far as I'm concerned.
A-.
Absolutely. I agree.
I'm not mad at anybody that gives it an A+, honestly, given, the expectations where we came from and all that. I'm not mad at anybody that says A+, but A- just gives us a little room for growth and it gives us a little something to work towards, to make this, sweeten the season a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I would give them an A-. I want to give Coach JB an A. I think I think the Pistons have developed an identity, and it's more to it than just playing aggressive defense or being a team that's willing to fight. I think a team that's willing to run, a team that's going to play defense and run and get out and run. Pace is everything with this team. You know what I'm saying? I do not mind the half-court offense that they have, but when Pistons are out and running, they're a different team. And that's their identity. Run, defend. You know what I'm saying? I think you have a superstar in Cade. You have a defensive person in Thompson. You have a three-point specialist. You have a big man that's a young big man in the middle that's blossoming. You have the recipe to be successful later on with the Pistons. You do. What's the record right now?
Pistons record
43 and 30. Let's see, 38. Is that the record?
I don't know.
Anyway, I thought you was looking it up when you leaned forward. I said, okay, he's doing the research.
I was on the schedule. This 44 and 37.
Okay, I'll take it. 44 games.
Yeah, you were close. You were closer to 500.
Yeah. But 44 games. That's really. I mean, last time you won 44 games was before 2018. It was before 2018. 2018, they won 41 games. So this is a successful season by all means. I would like to see more. I want to see a championship within the next 5 years. I don't think I'm asking the impossible for that with what we have. For those that's thinking, well, we don't have any draft picks. Last thing this team needs to do is get any younger. We said that last year. We draft picks. It's not that kind of part. We are already young. Uh, Isaiah Stewart, 24, 25 years old. Duran, under 23. Cade, maybe 23. Ivy, maybe 23. Thompson, is he 21 yet? You don't have to
Thompson.
look that up, but I'm just
Yeah.
but I'm just saying it's a predominantly young team, and if you're depending upon a draft with a young team, you're kind of in trouble. You know what I'm saying? What we need is a we need to build on what we have. We need to make sure the people that we have in that locker room are dedicated and want to be here and are doing things to be better in the off season so they can contribute. I think Ron Highland is going to be very good. I think Arthur Thompson is going to be very good. And I like to see the steps that Ron Highland takes from year one to year two. That's usually the biggest improvement area from 1 to 2. I would love to see that. Work on his ball handling, work on that outside shot. Stay diligent with moving your feet on defense. He'll be all right. Quit trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? It's okay if somebody starts some stuff and you just walk away, man. It's okay for you not to get off the floor fast after being pushed down or something like that. It's okay.
You always see Fontecchio's trying to relax.
Yeah, Fontecchio, y'all gonna give Fontecchio a heart attack trying to keep y'all out of trouble, man.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah. So, Foster, would you like to put a bow on this before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. I don't want to say that we had New York on the ropes, but it's going to be a tough fought series. I see I see a direction to where the Pistons might be able to knock them off. We beat them. We were able to take 3 or 4 games against New York, including 2 in New York, and the fan base is shaking in their Timberland boots. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a New York Knicks team that their identity has changed over the summer. They put a lot of pressure on themselves going out and getting Mikal Bridges. They gave up a ton of draft picks to keep that Villanova chemistry together. But in the meantime, they lost a lot of toughness. Julius Randle, DiVincenzo. They were not able to pay the ticket to keep Isaiah Hartenstein. So that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of
That's a turnover. That's a big turnover in personnel.
Yes. And so they're still trying to. It seems like they're still trying to figure things out. They do have a nice 2-headed monster in Towns and Brunson, and like I said, their identity has changed a little bit. They definitely can score a lot of points, but their interior defense has suffered as a result of that. And I think the Pistons had the ability to assert their physicality and dominance upon that team, and we saw it a little bit in that game. Granted, like I said, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson didn't play, but I think that the Pistons have found a way that they can exploit them in a way, especially if we can push the pace. The New York is a team that likes to slow things down and make the game muddy. The Pistons like to get out in transition, so that's what they're definitely going to have to do. And the Pistons really need to attack in the paint. We are 5th in the league in points in the paint, and New York is 22nd in defending the paint. So I definitely see an opportunity for guys like Jalen Duren, who have had a very good second half of the year, to assert his dominance, because they do have Mitchell Robinson, and Mitchell Robinson is a guy that doesn't play. He plays about 20 games a year now. So I think that we have a good opportunity to attack them. They're not a very deep team. Tibbs likes to play Tibbs likes to play his starters a ton, and we are what, eighth in the league in bench and bench points. So when Beasley's on, and when we can get some contributions from Ron Holland, who's been a little bit more dependable than Fontecchio. But yeah, I think that we have the opportunity to get out in transition and run them off the court and try to tire down some of those guys. And don't let them get in foul trouble. If Knicks get into foul trouble, they just don't have the reserves to combat us. So, yeah, I said a lot to say that the Pistons have a very good opportunity to compete and knock off the Knicks right now.
Right. April 19th, we start best of 5. Is it the best of 5 or is it?
I believe it's 7 all the way through.
Okay, they changed.
I believe it's the baseball is like it's the best of 5.
Yeah. Okay. Now best of 7. Pistons start their playoff journey next week, so it would be a joy to see. And Foster, I thank you for putting a bow on this. I want to remind everyone once again to subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. We're almost at 250 subscribers. We're trying to get to 3. So do what you got to do. Make sure if you're subscribed that you're sharing, liking, and commenting. That keeps us in the algorithm. And tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? If you aren't subscribed and you're listening, you're wrong. That's all I can say. Foster, let's get out of here. Foster has some profile players. We should be dropping within the next couple days or so. We'll figure it out, but make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see all of that. We got the NFL draft coming. We have NBA free agency coming. We have NBA draft coming after the season. So we're going to be working this off season. The regular season might be over, and even after the playoffs, me and Foster are still going to be doing post-game podcasts. We're not going nowhere. We're going to keep you updated. We're going to talk basketball all year round, even during the summer, during the off season. So you'll hear and see us. So check us out. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube.